Welcome to Malcolm and We, heard exclusively on malcolmpresents.com, a streaming platform heard round the world and even in Brooklyn, New York. Anyway, I'm your host, Malcolm Berman, and this is my co-host, Yana Larson, who still laughs at my jokes. I think that's why we're a good team. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day, Yana.
Same to you, and it's Casual Friday, and it's Yay Ohio Day for me. I don't know why.
Yay,
I just have
Ohio Day.
I have my Buckeye Ohio sweatshirt, and I have my Cavs hat. Go Cavs! And
Your calf hat?
Cavs.
Oh, okay.
You know basketball.
No, I don't know basketball. The Cleveland Cavaliers with
That's
LeBron
right.
James.
No more.
That's the last time they won, right?
Uh, I don't know.
He might
Maybe.
join again. He is, defies description. I think he's 40 years old. He does triple doubles. He jumps like he jumps, but he's 6'8", about 250 pounds, and don't step in front of him.
Why not?
Yeah. When he's driving to the basket, you see it's like the Red Sea parting, everybody, because he's still strong. And now he's playing with
His
Luca.
son, or his son's not on the team, is he?
And what?
He has a son who plays.
He has a son who plays Bronny, and he has another son who's starting college this year.
Well, I remember hearing about him when he was in high school.
Are you that old? Just kidding. Hey,
Well,
listen,
you would know. You're older.
I know to me you're a kid.
I know.
When you
I
reach
look
my
like
age,
one. I look like one,
yeah, I know.
kind of, and
Yeah,
I
well,
I
but
do.
we won't give your secrets away. 'Cause I know why. I know why you have that spark in your eyes. And I think it has a lot to do with Valentine's Day. But anyway, what have you been up to?
I
Things that
have
we could talk about on you know
yes, yes. We can talk about
YouTube.
this.
So,
No,
so talk to me.
just don't go there. All right. So yes, I have been busy along with my colleagues and my team saving the world. Do you want to
That's
know
all?
why? Well, no, I do this show too.
Well, this is going to save the world.
Yes, it's all
I
part of
hope.
it. Hmm.
Well, as soon as we get Elon Musk to investigate us, then we
Oh
we hit.
gosh.
But we don't
Well,
talk
he might
politics.
investigate you,
Yeah.
you know.
I have a perfectly clean background.
Okay.
I,
Mine is my background is good.
uh, I've heard tell.
Background is good. Maybe not the now ground or the
Oh, so anyway, what have you been up to?
yes. Well, we've been having a lot of events for our I might as well do our little blurb right now.
Okay,
Uh, um, our joining we for MLK Manifesting the Dream in 40 Days of Peace. Take action and be of service at we.net/MLK. So I think we had our first event on January 15th. Kind of had a little bit of a slow start because there's that kind of fuzzy period between the 15th and the 20th. Let me see if so we did part one already, and I think we did part one on,
yeah, we did it last week or 2 weeks ago.
no, we did it on, let me see here.
No, last week we had, I forget who we had. I forget her name.
Um, who did we have? Uh, I came thinking about this, so I don't remember who we had.
Anyway, just remember she was young.
Young. Oh, Fernanda. Yeah,
Fernanda.
Fernanda. Um, Yeah, but I think the last time I came was the last part of January. And so since then, we have been very busy. And so I tried to start writing down some what's coming up, which again, you can see at we.net/MLK. That's our calendar. And so we have a lot of events on there. But
Could,
what
could
I,
you could you post those? We have a we section of this show.
yes,
Okay. Could
yes,
you post that on that? The calendar of
I,
events? Check with our people. Check with Maura. See if we could do that.
okay. Yeah, you're getting me distracted here when I'm losing my focus. But what we,
What else is new?
I
Anyway,
know,
continue, please. I'm sorry.
oh. So anyway, going back to where I think we left off, we then in February had checking here. We had Maureen Edwardson on, and we had her as a guest a while back. Maybe you don't remember. She is known for her work on IRT, which stands for Inner Resonance Technologies.
I thought that
Um,
stands for Interborough Rapid Transit.
no, I.
That,
It
yeah,
stands for Inner Resonance Technologies, and that's she has this way of working with you, and it what it does is that it helps you align with your inner authentic self for harmonious balance. But you might want to try to get a session with her, Malcolm.
how about if you don't want to contact your inner self?
Well, but it might be good for others if you got in, more in harmonious balance with yourself.
Because my inner self might look like the picture of Dorian Gray.
Mm,
If,
well,
if you remember that movie or book, well, that was a book, wasn't it?
of course. Yes, it's classic.
With what was it, Herd Hatfield, who starred Dorian
You know what?
Gray.
If you asked me about Dr. Zhivago, I could tell you all about that.
Tell me, Dr. Zhivago, I always just to do it to get you all screwed up as far as your what you want to say. I've watched Dr. Zhivago until they go through the desert and then I fall asleep. I always fall asleep with him on the train.
It's not the desert. They're in like Siberia.
Oh, so I'd bear something, but I always fall asleep at one portion.
I have
A
never
long
really
movie.
I have never really been able to stay focused through the whole thing because it's a long movie. But I've seen it several times. I saved it somewhere in one of those movie things. And so every once in a while, when I get in that mood, I have my go-tos. One of my go-tos is the first Twisters. I just love that movie.
Mhm.
And let's see, Out of Africa and Dr. Zhivago.
Dr. Zhivago, even though I'm a straight man, I fell in love with Omar Sharif. He is so gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, then that's the movie that he was with Barbara Streisand.
Oh, Funny Girl.
Funny girl.
Yeah. But
And
this one he's in with Dr. Zhivago is with Julie Christie.
Julie
Now,
Christie.
she's beautiful. And she plays Laura.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know that Laura's theme. Beautiful music.
Laura's theme. Right.
Anyway, how did you get talking about that?
You got me talking about it.
Let's
All
go
right.
back
So,
to
all right.
40
So
Days
the
of
next,
Peace.
yes, then we have three indigenous women of indigenous ancestry, and um, well, they're indigenous. Um, and Veronica Willetto, Teresa Brewington, and Shannon Crossbear. Remember, we had grandmother Shannon Crossbear on.
Long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and these women, Veronica and Teresa, I can't remember their. Well, I think Veronica's with the Navajo, and Teresa's with. I can't remember the name of it. Actually, I'd never actually heard it of that tribe, but they. they have a lot of their tribe in their people in Iowa. Um, and so they're all very, very educated. And the segment was about interdependence and decolonization for a sustainable future, fusing cultural traditions with systemic change and healing from generational trauma and displacement. And it was very interesting listening to them talk. And it just, it just, it's still a problem,
Oh, yeah.
that all of that. And it depends probably where you are in the country. But have you ever been through Arizona, parts of New Mexico, and it's so sad and tragic, and it doesn't leave you. I mean, the land is beautiful, but it leaves you with such a sad feeling about what all happened. And I'm, it's going to take a lot of work, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
anyway,
there are two famous old movies about the what happens to certain people in a tribal situation. One is the Jim Thorpe story. I don't know if you ever saw
yeah,
that movie with Burt Lancaster.
yes. And how
That's,
about
that's
Little Big Man? You
yeah,
remember that one?
yeah. And well, anyway, Jim Thorpe was an Olympic athlete, I think in
Yes.
1918, and the
Mm.
things that he had to go through because he went to a college that was an Indian college. And the other one, and who's played, as I said, by Burt Lancaster. And the other one was a movie back then. About one of the raisers of the flag of Iwo Jima was an Indian,
Oh,
played by
mhm.
Tony Curtis. Tony Curtis, an Indian? No.
There are lots of good movies. How about Dances with Wolves? Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Yeah. What else?
but
Oh,
anyway,
the Wind Talkers.
yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about what happens in the when the Indians when they're in their I forget what you call it again. When they're in the villages in the tribal thing, and it's and they're so suppressed by our government, and I think it still is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then just
I think on the Indians on the reservation.
yeah.
It-
Well, like Shannon Crossbear, she's on. There's a large reservation in northern Minnesota in the boreal forest, and she has raised her family to be aware of their cultural upbringing, and I've learned a lot from her. She's a very interesting person, and just talking about how violent our language is, um, and how different our language is in between. Um, and I can't remember the name of her language, but um, like there are so many words for snow, and I don't know how many words you can think of for snow, but as a skier, I have a lot of words for snow to
yeah,
describe.
and words you can't say, especially when you fall down on the slopes.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about like if she says, like talk, because she works with children children in trauma. And so, like, when they talk about their target population, target, it sounds like, it's, shooting at something. But that's just an example of the words in our language that you kind of like think about why do we use that expression and then try to change, it to really like kill two birds with one stone, you know.
Don't
Um,
ask me. Boy, I don't. But
anyway, I'll
anyway,
move on.
what else are we having on for 40 days of peace? It's all over already, or is it still going on?
Still going on. Goes to the end of February. We still have
Which is next
several
week.
events to record. So we're busy putting together events and doing. We're doing the recording first so that we can try to avoid all those um, technological snafus that happen with Zoom. And
Really?
getting,
It's they're technological snafus with Zoom. I wouldn't know that.
yeah, and well, just imagine you're trying to have a conversation with somebody in India and somebody in Africa and somebody in, Timbuktu, and and trying to get it to all coordinate together and have audio and
Okay.
visual. So we just like do the best we
I know
can.
it's a technological mess. Question this: Where is Timbuktu? I
I don't know.
it.
My parents knew. They were always talking
Yeah,
about
someone always says it's Timbuktu when it's out someplace and no one knows
it.
where in the
Yeah,
hinterland.
my parents were always talking about Timbuktu, so they're not around anymore, so I could ask them now exactly
Well,
where it
can we create a seance?
is.
Maybe we get them back.
I don't want to bring him back to talk about Timbuktu.
Timbuktu. Oh, okay. Just just
Anyway,
a just a thought. Anyway, continue. Pardon me from interrupting.
continue on. Yeah, continue on. All right. Then we had, Fumi John Stewart. You probably don't know who she is, um, but she is. Oh, I believe she started it many years ago. Have you heard of peace poles?
Peace
That
polls.
peace poles. They're decorative. They're like, you know they have, I guess there are four sides, and they have "May peace prevail on earth" in a different language, and you can pick the languages that you want to have on your peace pole, and then you put it like in your garden or somewhere, and that's in a special like Zen place, and um, it's to signify. Well, she was of Japanese American heritage, and so you remember what happened, um, you know, after around World War II, and
I don't remember. I wasn't born yet.
well, but
I know. I'm
people,
kidding.
so they were put in internment camps, even if they were born here, American citizens, which of course, well, we won't go to that either. But anyway, so there was an event in Michigan, a very large event to recognize Martin Luther King Day. Um, and she was a keynote speaker. And so they were celebrating the International Peace Pole Project and the phrase, "May peace prevail on earth." And Malcolm, you may not know this, but I've been a peacenik for a long, 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 long time. And way, way, way back, before my kids were born, I was working for a peace organization. And we were working on a big project called Unifying Ohio for Peace. And one of the people that we were working with to help us celebrate um, Unifying Ohio for Peace was this woman, Fumi John Stewart. And so I remember because Peaceful and Fumi. And so when I re met her all these years later, I asked her if she remembered working with us, and she did. And talk about a small world. Because she's in California, and I mean she's all over the place. Japan, because that's part of her heritage.
Well, where does she live? California?
I think California, but like I said, I think I mean, she has family in Japan too, I believe.
Mhm.
She, the people that are at that level of being movers and shakers and social change makers, um, they're they're just I don't know if they're ever home. They're just always going, and spreading the good news.
Peace. Now, the events that you have, are any of them live where people could come to?
No, we don't have any in-person events. We used to. Um, Well, this one that Fumi had, that was live. And then we had, let's see. No, I don't think that we have any others that are live. It's just so, with after with the pandemic, we all got used to Zoom, and it's just been a great way to keep up connections. It's actually increased our ability to connect. So that has really helped We the World because we are a global organization.
Now, can anybody join through the internet? Can they join what's happening, or you have a finite number of people?
No, 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 no. So that's the beauty of it. We record these sessions and then we broadcast them, and we broadcast them on YouTube, so that I mean you can watch the event. We broadcast when it's going to be shown on YouTube, so you can watch it. It's not live because we already did it. Although we do have some events that are live streamed, and and if we don't have technic- technical snafus, then it works.
Well,
Sometimes it does
well,
not.
also, hopefully we'll have the videos of all these events available on a 24/7 basis on Malcolm Presents.
Right, because they're on YouTube.
Right.
And so you just have to get, move it
Yeah, well, I
over.
can connect, yeah, your YouTube, I know there's a way, I'm not an engineer, I don't know how to get it from YouTube, but one of our people can put it,
One of our people, yes.
because what I do is our show, I do, which I'm doing with you now, it goes on YouTube, and from YouTube I transfer it. But this I know
Mhm.
from our show. I don't know if it was from another feed.
Yeah. Well, we had worked with, well, you put it on your website, and which is where it goes for us too. It goes to our website, and it's also in YouTube, and then we have a playlist. So when we get the playlist together, then that we can share that.
And we can
And
transfer it to
we still
all
have
the
to do
things.
that with 7 days. But yeah, it's a great way to be able to see it again, because it's hard to do things live, and there's so many things that you want to see and do, and you might have to go to work.
Work?
um, yeah, remember that. um, what was I going to say?
Well,
Oh, so we're doing this. This is this MLK Manifesting the Dream is an annual event that we do as part of a grant project from AmeriCorps. And it's because Martin Luther King was about being of service. That AmeriCorps is about volunteerism. And
when
so
officially is Martin Luther King's birthday?
I think it's the 20th.
Is Martin Luther King Day a national holiday now or no?
Yes,
And when is that?
January 20th.
January 20th. So
Hmm.
everybody's off.
If they work for
F-
government, school, there's no mail, banks are closed, the school might, shouldn't be.
Or if you've been put on furlough by the federal government.
I had to work. Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, gosh, don't get me started.
Okay.
Anyway, moving along, and that because I'm looking at the time. Are you, Malcolm? We had, remember Andrew Kane? He had a nighttime live stream show, and which was also then is also on YouTube, but it was live. And it was about poetry and sound vibrational healing, and there were a couple of guests there also, including remember Antoinette Rootstata and her husband Pato Banton, and they're amazing, amazing reggae artists, and they're also part of spearheading the Ubuntu project with Ubuntu International. And Ubuntu is an African word philosophy meaning I am because you are, and you are because I am. So it's the idea of reciprocity. It's the idea of independence, that we need each other, and hopefully we need each other in kind and sharing ways. So that it's a big beautiful thing. And it's so we're getting involved with that project to help out on that, and to really help the communities um, in Africa and other impoverished. Well, it's mostly in Africa. I don't know that they're spread out anywhere, but the idea is not uh, just only in Africa. It's the philosophy of caring about others, taking care of others, helping each other, and what's wrong with that? So, especially we need to be thinking of that, even though there's a right, we won't go there.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along. Then we have a very active partner in India. He's a very educated man, and I think he's been on with us too, Subrata Banerjee.
Yes.
And
By the way, just a reminder, if anyone wants to see these shows, go to malcolmpresents.com. Go to the shows Malcolm and We, and they're all listed by name for the dates that they were on. So all you have to do is scroll, and all the people that we interviewed that Yana just said are available forever.
yes, forever and ever. And we have, so in addition to being on malcolmpresents.com and on Malcolm Presents YouTube channel, we also have a podcast on Buzzsprout. So if you're driving, walking, mowing the yard and you want to listen to something interesting, you can also find all of our shows that we've done. And is on our podcast, we're up to, I think we're at 600 downloads, which is good.
Hmm.
That's a lot. Okay.
I-
So
I'm looking,
anyway,
I'm looking for 6 million. That's
well,
my
but
goal.
600 is pretty darn
Hmm.
good. The week from India with Subrata being uh, with the World Bank. I mean, he's a specialist in uh, gender identity, and no, not gender identity, gender issues. Taking care and helping protect the girl child and women. And he had a guest on. Her name is Dr. Juhi Garg, and she's again from India and talking about women's health and gender equality.
Hmm.
Then we've also had several sessions where we have activists from Africa who we are working with as we develop our international campaign with We the World. It's called our We Can program, meaning We Change Agent Network. And right now it's mostly in Africa, but we do want to spread out. And in fact, we are working with activists who are of dual citizenship. America one, but Bolivia, um, Colombia, and then we tried to get it for this event, but it's going to have to wait. I think it's Ecuador and Argentina and Venezuela. And then also we have a new person who wants to work with us in New Zealand. So anyway, that's what I remember. And then coming up, there are a couple, some more events to record. And let's see, who do I want to make sure I mention? Well, one I really am excited about is um, two people, Liz Gould and her husband's name is Paul Fitzgerald. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but they are brilliant, brilliant people with amazing stories of everything that they've seen and done and all the places they've been. But they were correspondents with they were journalists, correspondents with, I think, ABC. And so they were over in Afghanistan. And then, of course, in yeah. So remember when, with the hostage crisis and all that sort of, that was Afghanistan, right? I have my,
How's this crisis like with Jimmy Carter?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. So they were there at that time and seeing what was really happening. And there's it's interesting. We're going to find well, we aren't going to find out in this segment because we're doing something a little bit different.
Now,
But we
when does this all end? At the end of February?
February 28th.
And that's coming up soon. Anyway, did you have a little tag you want that you've been doing for the last few weeks? Because time is up. We have a
Oh,
minute
well,
left.
I already did my blurb thing,
Oh,
so
okay.
I
So
got
you
it
got,
in. So we can count our numbers for the grant.
okay. So anyway, I thank you very much. Keep
You're
busy.
welcome.
I mean, I know you're keeping busy. Drink plenty of liquids.
Yeah, yeah.
Get 8 hours sleep a night.
No.
Well, we'll talk about that off the air. Anyway, good speaking to you again and have fun. And everybody, you're listening to Malcolm Presents, or you're listening to Malcolm and We, heard on malcolmpresents.com. And we'll speak next week to more exciting news
Yeah,
from Miana Larson and more on 40 days, the last times of last bit of information on 40 days of peace.
we have two more great guests coming up this month. I'm not sure on the last day, so I won't say any. Well, we're hoping to get Fumi, but we're also going to have Katie Benway, and she's a mystic, and her son is going to be on too.
Well, looking forward to it. Anyway, you have a busy week, and I will speak to you. Well, I'll speak to you before, but I'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Bye.
you'll be bugging me again.